I don't know what it is. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, why are the Cardinals so inconsistent at football? It makes no sense to me. We just beat the San Francisco 49ers, coming off one of the most impressive wins I have seen from this ball club in a long time. Under this regime, probably the biggest win that I've seen them get, and then we just come into the next week and fold in front of the Packers. It makes no sense. It really does. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I am so glued to this television right above me that I will literally sit here and watch anything that the Arizona Cardinals produce. For 4 quarters, 2 hours long, I'm locked in, I'm dialed. Even if it's the worst product you have ever seen in your life, I'm going to watch it till the very end, and I hate that for myself because my mental health comes from this TV. If the Cardinals win, all is good. The rest of the week is fantastic. NFL fans, I know you can relate to that. But if we lose, that mental health is taking a massive hit, and for the rest of the week, I am pretty much depressed. It's gonna be a good gym week for me, but like outside of that, not much is going on. We just bent over, took it, and got obliterated by Jordan Love in the Green Bay Packers. Let's go ahead and discuss this game because it was one of the most abysmal things I have ever seen in my life. And I've seen Joker too. First things first, I mean, we could discuss penalties. This was probably one of the most undisciplined game I have ever seen by a Cardinal, especially under Jonathan Gannon's regime. This was awful. Like, just so many penalties in the secondary. We're encroaching. It's not even the right word. We're going off sides. We're getting neutral zone penalties. Like, it's just ridiculous the amount of penalties we had this game. I'm gonna look it up real quick because off the top of my head, I didn't have it. 13 total penalties from offsides, like I said, to holding, to whatever it is. Like, just too many penalties, undisciplined football. And the Cardinals finally started getting things going and started kind of coming back, and then Sean Murphy-Bunting kind of did what he does best, and that is be absolutely garbage. Just consistent holding calls and then getting burnt for a touchdown. So shout out to you, Sean Murphy-Bunting, because you played one of the worst games that I have seen, and I don't even know what this is. It's one of the efforts of all time. That's what I could say about this play. Just freaking garbage. I thought he'd be a little bit better than he is this year, but for some reason, he's just a holding magnet. Just things stay true. Guess you can't fix bad habits. So, Sean Murphy-Bunting, thank you for just continually being garbage. You had an interception, but just, I'm so sick of the holding calls. Like, why? Garrett Williams looked solid, but Sean Murphy-Bunting just not great. And then he also got hurt. Let's go ahead and speak about injuries. There were so many injuries that I wrote them down on my phone. So let's go ahead and discuss this. Marvin Harrison Jr. concussed, out for the game. Then we had Kazir White with his knee, out for the game. James Conner hurt his leg or his ankle, was not out for the game necessarily. He tried to play through it, but he came in the game and he fumbled. Speaking of fumbles, we'll dive back into the injuries in just a second. We have no ball security? Like, what is going on? Did we forget how to hold on to the football? Like, how many fumbles did we have this game? 4? I know for a fact James Conner fumbled. Greg Dortch fumbled. And then Kyler Murray handed the ball off to Trey Benson and he ran. It looks like he ran the wrong play entirely. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was a miscue and they were talking back there and discussed the play. It looked like Trey Benson didn't know what was going on, ran the wrong play, ran into the ball was on the ground, fumble. Miscue after miscue. Let's go ahead and dive back into the injuries because it is absolutely freaking ridiculous, man. Evan Brown, out with an ankle. Joey Blunt, hamstring. Then you also have Bilal Nichols, a stinger, out for the game. Sean Murphy-Bunting, same thing, a neck injury. And Starling Thomas went down. So, like, all these guys are rotational players, and we're watching this defense basically fold in front of our eyes. This defense is already not talented as it stands. Justin Jones is out. Darius Robinson is out. DJ Ojulari's out. And then all these guys that I just listed, like, we're gonna be screwed. We're gonna be screwed. Let's call it how it is. We can't stop anybody. Jordan Love just threw for 4 freaking touchdowns and had his way with us. So, like, we can't do anything right now. Like, what is this defense gonna look like next week? I don't even want to find out. Like, I genuinely feel like there's not a lot to discuss this game. It was just some of the worst football that I've ever seen happen in my entire life. Both coordinators, Nick Rallis, Drew Petzing, awful games. Drew Petzing especially. I'm watching some of the most predictable offense that I have ever seen. Like, when we're talking substitutions, like, you don't think an NFL defense keys on to who's coming into the game. When Amari DeMarcado or Trey Benson are in the game, do you really think they're that big of a threat? Like, defenses are not worried about these guys. Now, obviously, Trey Benson, you want to keep getting him reps. But just situational subs, like, James Conner got subbed out on, like, the 3rd drive of the game, and that is a terrible time to do that. When we are down, need to come back, like, it just doesn't make sense. And we have seen this consistently. It's like starting the second quarter, like, James Conner's just out of there, and he wasn't even hurt until, like, halftime. But Drew Petzing, like, I just don't understand what you're doing. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And Zach Pascal, when he's on the field, same thing. You don't think defenses are keyed on to this? This is an NFL coordinator we're talking about with this kind of predictability. So if our offense is going to keep struggling, I mean, I think there is a massive finger to point, because I think Kyler Murray showed up today. He was the only reason the ball was moving, and I know you guys say I'm a Kyler Murray activist, but let's go ahead and be real here. What did he have to work with? Like, genuinely, what did he have to work with? Because the first drive of the game, Marvin Harrison Jr., wrong route. I believe the next drive after that, guess what happens? James Conner slips, Michael Wilson drops a third down pass, and then you rally all this going on with the offense that the defense can't get a stop on anybody. Like, Kyler Murray is not to blame. I'm going to keep emphasizing that. Like, Kyler Murray has nothing to work with right now, especially with Marvin Harrison going out. Like, the offense became the Trey McBride show. He showed out today. I will admit that. Trey McBride had a fantastic game. He is the only player that really came to show up because everybody either was committing penalties or they were fumbling the football. So it's just interesting to see how this offense is basically a non-factor. And Greg Dortch, where have you been, bud? I've heard nothing from you all season long. You are basically just doing cardio out there. I have seen nothing from you. Now, maybe that's a Drew Petzing problem because Greg Dortch should be a lot more involved in this offense, but maybe it's a separation problem. Maybe Greg Dortch just isn't all that. Maybe we jumped the high horse. I really don't know at the end of the day because Greg Dortch is just doing cardio. I was excited for the opportunity. I thought he would thrive with it, but it just has not been that. Like, I don't know what it is schematically. I don't know what it is separation-wise. Like, we got to figure that out because your starting slot receiver shouldn't have the production that he's having. And also, our second leading rusher behind Trey McBride should not be Amari DeMarcado. Let's just go ahead and call it how it is. Like, just offensively, Drew Petzing, you're scheming terrible. And then Nick Rallis, why are we blitzing 4 people when Jordan Love under pressure is one of the worst quarterbacks in the entire NFL? He just diced us for 4 touchdowns. Now, obviously, you can't blitz every single play, but you're telling me you can't scheme up knowing that our defensive line and our edge rushers are basically useless? We're not a team that can be comfortable and just allow 4 people to blitz because I watched Jordan Love with a clean pocket basically the entire game, and look at what happened. 4 touchdowns. It's just another blowout. Like, I don't understand. Things got to change. I don't think Kyler Murray's the problem. I still stand on that. A lot of you guys probably disagree. I mean, you guys can talk about it in the comment section below. I will be reading those. These are just my opinions. I mean, the coordinators, I think, are a huge problem right now. Penalties were obviously a problem in this game. Fumbles were a problem. Like, things just did not click. It was just terrible all around. Things didn't go right for us, and we were obviously the worst team in this. Packers fans, you guys deserve this W. Like, there's nothing about this game that the Cardinals did well. Jordan Love looked comfortable. Josh Jacobs kind of did the dirty work, and their defense stepped up big. You got to give them props where props is due. They were strapping up, and we had no answer for them. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Just absolutely ridiculous game, in my opinion. The Cardinals had a chance to take number 1 in the NFC and be tied, but nope. Here we are, dropping to a record of 2-4, but it was a big win last week. Let's see if we can bounce back, man. I mean, the optimism's still there, but things have to get cleaned up, and if they don't next week, I don't know where we go from here. With that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Like I said, if you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL-related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.